Am I wrong for not allowing my sister to be present at my birth? Okay, so the key players in this story are me, F27, my husband, Kareem, 40, my little sister, Tasha, 13, and my mom, 58. For context, my mom and dad had Tasha as a last resort to fix their failing marriage. I'm nearly 9 months pregnant, like legit 3 weeks out, and my husband is a second-generation immigrant. We weren't trying, but were excited when we found out about the baby. We waiting until we were out of the first trimester and told everyone after that. Kareem's family are super excited and can't wait to bring the baby to their home country. My mom was happy when we told her, but made some grumbling remarks about being too young to be a grandma. I presumed she was joking. My dad we told separately. He gets on great with my husband, and he said he would help Kareem and I with anything baby related. At first, Tasha was excited talking about how she's the youngest auntie and it was cute. She is spoiled. I don't want to call her a brat, but she can get an attitude when things don't happen how she wants. But then, once we told everyone we were having a girl, she went quiet. We didn't do a big announcement, just told people when we saw them. We both have busy jobs, and I kept working until recently. Luckily, I can work remotely if needed. My dad was excited to be a girl granddad. In some ways, I've been closer with him after the divorce. My mom put all her effort into Tasha and making sure she was okay as she was the youngest. She's a bit of a golden child for my mom. Kareem's family got him a t-shirt that has a joke about being a girl dad on it. I've always said he gives off girl dad energy, so it's funny. When I got big, around the 5-month mark, I was really ill. I had hyperemesis gravidarum and was admitted to hospital. I have a heart condition, so there was always a worry about side effects during the pregnancy. Tasha refused to visit me in hospital, meaning my mom didn't come either, but I understood why a 13-YO might not want to come to a hospital. However, she has become so standoffish and rude to myself and my husband, scoffing when we talk about baby girl, joking how emotional I was, saying more trouble than it's worth with my heart. She said we stole her favorite name when we announced it as Adley. She's never said that name before. She also joked about how fat I had gotten. Kareem had enough and told her to grow up, but my mom defended Tasha, saying she's probably just a bit jealous about no longer being the youngest in the family anymore. I tried to talk and ask her what's wrong, but she got an attitude again and told me I made everything about my baby and myself. We were discussing my birthing plan on a family FaceTime and how I have to have a planned C-section to reduce the stress on my heart. I'm a bit nervous, but I've had surgery before. I was trying to get my dad to calm Kareem down and asked if he'd be in the waiting room. He was really happy and asked if he could bring his good friend. We all know she's his girlfriend, but they won't admit it. He thinks he's too old for that. She's been sweet and knitted some baby blankets, so we agreed to her visiting after the birth. I got a call from my mom and Tasha, who were really angry. I hadn't invited them to the birth, or told them I had to have planned C-section. I told them Tasha had complained about me only speaking about the baby, and my mom told me to not be so flippant. Tasha was rolling her eyes when mom asked about the surgery, and I know she's 13, but something about it seems so calculated from her. My mom asked to be there, and I said she could be in the waiting room, if she would be nice too, Dad. Tasha started talking about how long it would take, but I informed her she was only invited to visit after Adley had been born. Now her and Mom are blowing up, saying I'm cruel for letting a random friend of Dad's visit, but not letting Y little sister be there for her niece's birth. I'm sad, as I hoped the pregnancy would bring my mom and I closer, but alas. Edit. I just remembered something else that happened. Tasha walked into our garden one afternoon without any notice to tell us and saw us making out on the swing chair. Nothing scandalous, but my hormones have been all over the place. She made a comment like, no wonder you're pregnant if that's all that you do. She's also been perfectly nice to Kareem throughout the pregnancy. It's just me she has the attitude with. Edit 2. As some people can't seem to understand, I'll reiterate, I've tried connecting to Tasha. I've tried communicating and comforting her. I've tried getting her excited about being an auntie. She's made cruel comments about my weight. I used to have an ED. How I'm an attention seeker to get pregnant. She's literally slammed a door in me, causing me to hurt myself. She's been all over my husband, but ignoring me to my face, and she's made a comment about me not keeping my legs shut. This isn't about her being confused. She knows what childbirth and pregnancy is. She also banned our mom from visiting me when I was rushed to hospital, and had complained about me talking about the baby, so I didn't include her in the conversation about the birth. She's not angry because I'm trying to keep her away from the baby. She's angry because I'm pregnant, and she will no longer be the youngest girl. I'd like to add that the family dynamic was pretty good until I got pregnant. She was mom's favorite, but dad doesn't do favorites. Relevant comments. Is your dad around? Did he walk out? Dad is still very active in Tasha's life. He just doesn't spoil her constantly like mom. Where do you know that he walked out? I've said my mom asked for the divorce, not him. So no, he didn't. People take issue with OOP's description of Tasha being born to save her parents' marriage and say she obviously doesn't care about or spend enough time with Tasha. People take issue with OOP's description of Tasha being born to save her parents' marriage and say she obviously doesn't care about or spend enough time with Tasha. I'm not passive-aggressive towards her. I was simply saying that's why my parents had her later on in life to explain our age difference. I've always tried to help Tasha even though our difference ages. We've invited her to our house for weekends and so on, but I have to protect myself and my baby, and I don't understand why she's acting so hostile towards me and not my husband. Okay, I'm sorry, how has she tried to clearing communicate with me? She's blocked my number and runs away from me when I try to talk to her. She complained, saying all I talk about is the baby, so I thought I wouldn't go into detail about the birth plan if she weren't interested, and try to encourage us to spend time together before the birth. I got nothing in return. She's physically pushed me and banned my mom from visiting me in hospital when I was sick. I said Dad's friend could visit, not stay, as she has given us some stuff for the baby. Mom hadn't been involved with me or the baby because of Tasha, which is fine, but why would they then want to be at the birth? People encourage her to sympathize with her sister more. It's hard to sympathize with her when she's being so cruel to me. She knew the comment about me being fat would hurt. I've struggled with an eating disorder. Also, it was my dad's family FaceTime and the divorce was bitter on my mom's side. My dad is a great dad to Tasha, and they have a good father-daughter relationship, but her and my mom are besties. She's the golden child. As I was grown up-ish when the divorce happened, mom didn't really worry how it would make me feel. So she put her efforts into Tasha. I understand that's because she's younger, but I had hoped me becoming a mom would make her want to do more things with me, maybe teach me how to be a mom. Tasha isn't being treated like an adult, but she's not a toddler. She's physically hurt me and insulted me. As a mom, I have to protect my infant baby, not my teenage sister. Also, she's the one making the competition, not letting our mom visit me and refusing to even talk to me so I can reassure her. Is Tasha still dealing with the divorce? Not really. She lives with mom, but she sees dad very regularly. We've offered therapy, but she said she doesn't need it. She's not crazy, unlike some people. I had an ED when I was her age, so I believe she's referring to me going to therapy then, and still now. Update 1. I want to address the comment saying, I'm a bad sister. I hate Tasha. I need to reassure and comfort her, and show her sympathy. We had a normal sister relationship until I announced my baby was a girl. Then she got an attitude change, but only with me. I've been trying to reach out and ask her reasons for being so horrible to me, calling me names and saying things about my baby, but she ignores me and won't talk to me. So I don't know what else I'm expected to do. I appreciate being a 13YO girl is hard. I was one once, but I didn't act like this. It's not my place to have to parent Tasha when she has 2 parents, a mom that spoils her, and when I'm about to have my own baby. My pregnancy has been hard and risky, and there is still a chance my daughter could be born with my heart defect. This and all of the stress caused by my mom and Tasha has meant I've not been able to enjoy my pregnancy. I had hoped it would make our mom want to be involved with me more, but unfortunately Tasha has done everything she can to ensure my mom has not been involved or helpful. Whilst my husband is patient and polite, he doesn't like the way they are treating me, and he certainly doesn't like the pressure it has put on me. Tasha and mom turned up unannounced to our house today, wanting another explanation as to why they couldn't be at the hospital. I again said, as long as mom was civil to dad, she could be in the waiting room, but Tasha would have to visit after I've rested, and made sure baby girl is okay. I said she had moaned for all of my pregnancy, that it's all I ever talk about, so surely she had no reasons to want to be there. She got angry and threw a mug at the wall, saying she wanted to be there, as that's where everyone else would be, and she shouldn't have to be on her own and bored. I told her it was not a fun day out. I would be having major surgery and people want to meet my daughter. She screamed, saying I'm an attention whore for not giving birth the normal way, and demanded our mom that they go home. So they left as quickly as they had arrived. I don't know what my mom plans on doing, but yeah, edit. Well, those of you who said to not tell anyone when I gave birth were right in a way. Woke up to cramps and blood-tinged water in our bed, so Karim rushed me to the hospital where my OB said I was in early labor, caused by all of the stress most likely. There was too much pressure on my heart, and it was causing the baby to be in distress, so they put me under and gave me an emergency C-section. I woke up this morning to my husband, holding our beautiful daughter in his arms. She perfect, with a healthy heart and a good pair of lungs. She's so beautiful, and I didn't know I could love something so much. She's such a good girl, and we've spent the morning together as a family. We will be inviting my dad to the hospital tomorrow. Update 2. Basically, after giving birth yesterday, I have to stay in for a week as it was an emergency surgery. As we had rushed to the hospital, we didn't have all the things I will need, so Karim went home to pack a bag of my things for me. He stopped off at my dad's, and apparently Tasha was with him. Karim was polite, and Dad was asking lots of questions about Adley and I. He left the room to get the presents he and his girlfriend had gotten for us, and Karim was left with Tasha. Apparently she was all over him, but not asking any questions about myself or Adley. Karim said she threw herself at him and tried to kiss him, but he swerved and got up abruptly, telling my dad that they needed to do something with Tasha, as she was out of control. He told me what happened as soon as he got back to the hospital. He's really worried that people, my mother, will make him out to be a bad person. I think my dad has cameras in his house, so I'm going to ask him if there are any in the hallway. Edit. Tasha has texted me. Safe to say she's not being abused, and no, my mother doesn't have any male friends in the house. Tasha sent me a text saying she was sorry for trying to kiss Karim, but I've stolen everyone's attention, and apparently even our mother was asking about me yesterday. She sometimes literally refers to our mother as her mother. She then said I had to make it all about me by having Adley early, and she wanted someone to pay attention to her, and felt like Karim hadn't spent enough time with her recently. He's been kind to Tasha in the past. We've had her at our house and taken her on trips, but he's obviously been busy making sure me and the baby have been okay during the pregnancy.